Welcome to Cheating Stories Star. Tonight, one old family photograph. What looks like a happy memory may be hiding a devastating secret. Let's begin.
My name is Elliot. The photograph was supposed to prove we were happy. Instead, it proved someone had been lying to me for years. I found it at 2:17 in the morning while searching through an old storage box. I wasn't looking for anything important, just a photograph from our 10th anniversary. My wife, Lauren, was standing beside me. My parents were behind us. My younger brother, Daniel, stood near the window. Everyone was smiling. Everyone except me. I zoomed in. Then I noticed something behind Daniel. A reflection in the dark glass. A woman's face. I recognized her immediately. Mara. The woman Lauren had told me was her former co-worker. The woman I hadn't seen in years. My stomach tightened. I enlarged the photograph again. Mara wasn't looking at the camera. She was looking directly at Lauren. And Lauren was looking back. I stared at that tiny reflection for almost a minute. Then I whispered, "Why were you there?" No one answered. Of course. It was only a photograph. But sometimes a photograph remembers what people spend years trying to forget. I had always loved family pictures. They were proof of continuity. Birthdays, Christmas mornings, vacation trips, anniversaries. Every photograph told the same story. Lauren and I were happy. Our family was close. Daniel was always around. Too often, perhaps, but I trusted him. He was my brother. Lauren had always described him as family. Nothing more. I believed her. That belief became harder to hold after I found the photograph. I opened another album. Then another. The same face appeared. Different year. Different location. Same strange distance between Lauren and Daniel. A restaurant photograph from 7 years earlier. Mara appeared in the background. A Christmas picture. Her reflection appeared in a mirror. A vacation photo. Her car was visible through a hotel window. None of it proved anything. Individually, the details were meaningless. Together, they became a pattern. And patterns were what frightened me, because patterns don't accidentally repeat for years. I stopped asking questions. Instead, I started looking. I scanned every old photograph I could find. Then I enlarged the backgrounds. Reflections, windows, mirrors, cars, storefronts, places nobody normally notices. One picture from our 5th anniversary showed Lauren standing beside a restaurant entrance. Behind her was a reservation board. I could barely read the name. Mara's. Not Lauren's. Not mine. Mara's. I checked the date. It was the same night Lauren had told me she was visiting her mother. My hands became cold. I wanted to call her. I wanted to wake her up. I wanted to throw every photograph into the trash. Instead, I saved the image. Evidence first, emotion later. That became my rule. I contacted the photographer who had taken several of our family events. He remembered us. More importantly, he still had archived files. I asked for the original photographs rather than the edited versions. 3 days later, he sent me a private gallery. The difference was disturbing. Several cropped photographs had been altered. People had been removed from backgrounds. Objects had been blurred. One picture had been cropped specifically to remove a man standing beside Lauren. The original showed Daniel. His hand was resting on the back of her chair. Too familiar. Too comfortable. I kept digging. Phone records showed calls between Daniel and Lauren during the same periods. Hundreds of them. Short calls. Late calls. Repeated calls. Always after I went to sleep. Then I found something worse. A cloud backup from an old tablet. There were deleted videos. Most were ordinary. Then one file opened. Lauren's voice came through the speakers. "We have to stop appearing together." Daniel laughed. "Nobody looks that closely," she answered. "Elliot does." Silence. Then Daniel said, "Not anymore." I stopped the recording. My hands were shaking. Not from anger, from recognition. They weren't afraid I'd discover something. They were confident I wouldn't. That was somehow worse. I hired a forensic specialist to verify the files. I needed certainty. Not suspicion, not interpretation. Certainty. The report arrived 4 days later. The recordings were authentic. The timestamps matched the original metadata. The photographs had been edited after being taken. Someone had deliberately removed people and details from our family memories. I printed everything. Then I placed the documents inside a black folder. I didn't confront Lauren immediately. Instead, I invited everyone to my parents' house for dinner. Lauren arrived smiling. Daniel brought dessert. My mother talked about old family photographs. I almost laughed. She didn't know how close she was to the truth. After dinner, I placed the black folder on the table. Nobody moved. Lauren looked at me. "What is that?" I opened it. The first photograph appeared. Then the original. Then the second. Then the third. Daniel's face changed before Lauren's did. That told me everything. I played the recording. Her own voice filled the room. Nobody spoke. When it ended, Lauren began crying. "Elliot," I raised one hand. "No." She stopped. I looked at Daniel. "How long?" He stared at the table. 2 years, Lauren whispered. "Please understand." I almost smiled. Understand what? She couldn't answer. Then I placed one final photograph in front of them. It was from our 10th anniversary, the one that started everything. I turned it over. On the back was the photographer's original note. "Mara requested this image be cropped before delivery." Lauren looked at me. Her tears stopped. Daniel finally understood. This wasn't a confrontation. It was an audit. Every lie had a date. Every photograph had a timestamp. Every deleted file had a trace. I hadn't come to argue. I'd come to close the account. I removed my wedding ring, placed it beside the photographs. Then I stood. "I don't hate either of you." Lauren started crying again. I wish I could believe that. I looked at her. "I don't need you to." I walked out. Months later, I still keep the photographs. Not the edited ones. The originals. They taught me something I should have understood years earlier. Memories aren't always evidence of happiness. Sometimes they're evidence of what people wanted you to believe. Lauren thought cropping a photograph could erase a person. She was wrong. You can remove someone from a picture. You can delete a message. You can hide a relationship. You can even rewrite the story. But you can't erase the truth from someone who finally decides to look closely. I used to keep those photographs because they reminded me of my family. Now I keep them for a different reason. They remind me that I survived the version of my life everyone else wanted me to believe. And the last photograph I ever framed was the one where I finally stood alone,